So I was on a call yesterday with someone who reached out about coming to one of my retreats. And she wanted to know kind of like what was the spirit of the retreat? What kind of things would we be doing? Was it like a business retreat or was it a personal retreat? And I think the way that I've approached this is like, what if we treated ourselves like we were our most important job? Like if we took some of the same approach and energy and intention around developing ourselves the way that we have focused on developing our careers or developing our status, if we redirected even a fraction of that energy and took the same approach to our lives, what would be possible? So let me give you an example. I gave a talk this summer to a group of senior administrators. And I asked them, I said, how often do you set a vision for your team? And everybody in there were like, oh, we look at our vision every year. I said, okay, so you look at your vision every year, and then what happens? I said, well, we look at where we're trying to go. We figure out kind of like map a course to get there. We figure out what resources we need, what kind of support we're going to need, when we're going to benchmark and check in on our progress. We do that every year. And then I asked them, when was the last time you did that for your life? Crickets. And I don't do that from a place of shame at all. I asked that question for two reasons. One, because we actually know how to get stuff done. Most of us are in positions of great leadership because we know the process. We know the process of setting a vision, charting a course, allocating resources towards the thing that we want, setting benchmarks, and then having a time to come back and check in on our progress. Like we know that progress, we can rattle it off. But for some reason, I know exactly why, for some reason, we have not applied that process to the thing that matters most, our lives. And in some way, I think that's why we feel the way we do. Like we don't feel like we are purposeful and intentional, and we are just being carried by whatever the direction the wind blows, or based on what this person says we should be doing, and what that person says we should be doing, and what that person needs, or what this person needs, because we haven't stepped into the leadership position in our lives and made ourselves the most important job we have. And so this retreat, or the way I approach retreat, the way I approach retreats is is an invitation for you to do that, for you to say like, what is the vision I have for my life? And if I were to chart a course for that, what would that look like? And what resources do I need to allocate? How do I need to redistribute my attention, my energy, my focus so that I increase the likelihood of getting what I want? What are the benchmarks? What should I expect to see if I am making progress towards becoming the person I want and mean to be? And then how often am I going to check in on that? At work, at our jobs, we do that quarterly. Why not do that quarterly for your life? And I said it to two things. One is to just highlight that we are capable and that we know the process. And the second reason I do that is because I want you to consider all that's possible when you do. It's not about stepping away from your success. It's not about it's not about loss or lack. It's not about, like not prioritizing your business. It's really about right sizing your business's place in your life. When you step back and you say, like, what is the vision of what I want my life to be? Not just what I want my job to be, what I want my life to be, how I want my life to be. You can say right now, I am spending 80% of my focus on my job. But that is not my priority. That is not 80% of what I want my life to be. I actually want to be able to allocate like 30% of my time, my energy, and my focus towards pouring back into myself so that I can be clear and make aligned decisions about my job. I can't make aligned decisions about my job if I'm exhausted by my job. I have got to take time to unplug, to take a clear assessment of what I see in front of me, measured up against the vision that I had, and then say, okay, wait, here are some places where I might need to scale back and where I might need to push forward, where I might need to set some new boundaries, where I might need to like reallocate my energy and my focus, where I might need to invest some more. But you can't actually do that until you take the step back. So when you retreat with me, it is not a business retreat necessarily. What it is it's a life retreat. And if work is a part of your life, you'll probably have some business ideas. But you are putting your life first. You are putting work in the context of your life, not making it your life. That is the spirit of all of my work. Whether you are working with me in the Beyond Success cohort, whether you are working with me one-on-one, whether I am standing on the stage at your conference, whether I am facilitating leadership development and training for your team, at the core of it all is this belief that in order to do your best work, you actually have to put yourself first. You actually have to treat yourself like you are the most important job. Because you are. And there is nobody else who can do it but you.